Okay, so this is one of our male capies. Feisty little guy. He's about 3 years old. It's captive bred, and we want to introduce him to the female we've got on display. And then if everything goes well and the female falls gravid, we might actually keep her in here off display and everything. So we're going to introduce them now. Just want to get this cage ready. And please excuse the mess back here. We've got a lot of stock and things we're unpacking. It's not a heck load of workspace. So here's the girl. So we're just going to grab this boy out of here quickly. I want the other end, buddy. All huffy and puffy. Don't worry, you're gonna be happy camper once you see you got a girlfriend. Okay, so we're just gonna introduce there. I just want to make sure she doesn't nail him. Okay, hey, oh, easy smelling. What's this? Hey. She doesn't even know about him yet. She's more worried about me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close up here. I don't know if you can see that, how this male is busy smelling her. He's forgotten about me. He's just checking her out. Okay, so we're going to leave these two lovebirds and see what happens. So you can see that the male's investigating her quite nicely. She's still obviously worried because we disturbed her. And the cobra's being very movement orientated. So we're just going to try and keep still now. She sees him here. But there shouldn't be too much issues with Cape Cobras. Although Cape Cobras can eat each other. It has been documented. But we fed the female about 2 days ago. A nice medium-sized rat, so she shouldn't be too interested in eating a king. A king. I'm thinking of king cobras now. So, also being in captivity, these ones are used to eating rodents. So they're not going around eating other snakes, so maybe they don't have that sort of instincts too strong with regards to eating each other. Okay. So we recently introduced some king cobras, and the reaction was pretty much immediate. So each male might take his time, but I mean, with him smelling her and he forgot about me totally is a good sign that he's quite interested. So he just has to sort of win her over now. Maybe he's feeling a little intimidated. So thinking this pairing should be quite nice. We could obviously expect quite a lot of speckled animals at the end. With baby Cape Cobras, they all look pretty much the same. They've got a sort of yellowish coloring with the dark brownish black band across the neck. And then as they get older, they develop their adult coloring. And this male here, he's even still slightly changing. He's started getting more and more spots. He was always a sort of lighter brown color. So they do change quite a bit. But with a pairing like this, I would expect some really nice speckled animals. Other pairings that I have done is bright yellows, and I got a bright yellow to a pale yellow, and I got pale yellow out that I kept back. So they do pretty much throw the sort of colors they are, but other people say that you can potentially get any sort of colors coming out. I think that's if you mix localities and stuff. And you might get some odd colors coming out that you won't expect. But otherwise, I'm expecting pretty much speckled animals. Okay, so nothing too interesting is happening just yet. The male's not sort of going at nudging her or anything like that. So normally what the cobras, a lot of the time they'll do is they use their snout to actually push the female. You sort of get her to react and move a bit, and then they'll like climb on the back and sort of try and wrestle the tail end to get the female. So it all depends if the female's also interested or not. So we'll see how it goes. and if anything starts happening, we'll start recording again. Just here at our Cape Cobra's enclosure, and I mean, we introduced the boy. He showed lots of interest, but we never actually saw a lock. So it just shows what happens when we're not around. Well, we found these 2 eggs just outside of the hide, so I popped her in here hoping that she's going to lay the rest inside. Very, very thin shell on these eggs, but we can actually see they are fertile, which is awesome. So we need to get the others out now, because I'm worried she's going to actually roll him over and all that kind of stuff, because I saw one on the side and I'm not too sure if it's still there, because she is moving around a lot. I don't know if she's going to be the best mom, seeing she's laying it outside. So I just want to actually get the eggs from her now, put them in here before something happens overnight and we maybe lose some. So she's probably still busy, and sometimes they can be in a bit of a trance. I've bred Cape Cobras before, you might see on my channel there's another video, and I actually caught the eggs like straight out from the female. She was much calmer female, and they can also go into a little bit of a trance when they breed, when they're laying their eggs. This girl, I don't think she's gonna be like that or allow me to steal some of these eggs, but we've got some here so far. She's hissing at me a little bit now. Okay, so we are going to be bothering her now, unfortunately, but as I say, I want to save these eggs just in case anything happens. So I'm just going to use that as a blocker, really. Let's see, I can't even get in there because of that branch too well. Okay, I'm just going to take nice and gently. Don't worry about me, girl. This one's a little bit of a funny shape, but still pretty good size. Okay, and this is something you definitely do not want to try with your own if you have any of these, so don't follow what I do. Alright, girl. She's very, very defensive. Oh, I felt the wind on that one. Okay, I didn't flinch there or anything because I know that's sort of her range. She's not going to come out too far for me. Okay, girl. You see now she's starting to sort of roll the eggs a little bit already. Alright. Okay, obviously I want to try and do this with as little stress to her as possible, and without her moving too much and rolling the eggs around. But with the eggs, I can actually see where the veins are and where the little embryo is starting. So if she does roll them over, I can just put them into the correct position again. But no, we've got a good standoff going on here now. Come on, girl. It's alright. Yeah, this girl definitely means business though. And I used to have a nice pair of Hex Armor gloves, but one of my volunteers still hasn't brought that back for me. Okay, so going in nice and gentle. There we go, nice and slowly. Okay, obviously it would be a lot safer for me just to take her out and move her off totally. But I mean, I can see, as I say, I can see she's still busy. Not really ideal, but unfortunately I can't be here later to take the eggs out. Stodels closes where we've got this reptile park, and we're only allowed in here tomorrow. And yeah, I just want to make sure that we can get these eggs safe and sound. And she shouldn't have any problem. She should still lay the rest afterwards anyway. We'll get the rest tomorrow. Yeah, girl. I know. The evil man is here to come and steal your little babies. It's okay. Yeah, very tricky as how I'm going to get that one, eh? Let's see how quickly she can turn here. Or even duck underneath here. Making sure I'm guarded. Nice and slow, gentle movements. Any sudden sharp movements will get more of a reaction. Okay, so I think we've probably got one dud here, or it's going to be the tiniest little runt, this little egg over here. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't really candle it too well. But these ones, you can almost see a sort of pinkish color to them. This one as well. This one actually looks quite dull, or maybe this one has rolled over, so we'll check on that just now. But this one looks like a dud, but we'll still check it to see if we've got any veining. Cool, and then we'll just check on it tomorrow morning, see what's left. There's definitely 1, 2 that are obvious. There might be a few more higher up. Okay, so we're just gonna try and close it up now. It's okay, mommy, go down. There we go. And then she could pop her head out of that hole, but I think she's going to feel pretty safe. Don't want to get too close to that hole now. There we go. Alright, so we'll just leave her like that, and hopefully the rest will come. Cool. Alright, so it's the next morning. We just want to see, she has laid the rest and she's gone underneath the hide, so at least I don't have to fight with her now. So, alright, there we go. We've got 3 more. Okay, so 3 nice eggs, but sure, their skins are very, very thin. I think we're going to be able to actually see the babies develop in these eggs, which will be quite interesting. And yeah, I mean, it was maybe not the best idea to actually interrupt her while she's busy laying and everything, but as I say, I wanted to just make sure we get those eggs before she messes them up. With them being so thin as well, I was worried that she could actually break them or something. So anyway, all is good. We can just see if she looks a little bit more emptied now. There we go, girl. I know, sorry to bother you again. I just want to see that you don't look all lumpy. Okay, she looks quite normal and empty. No big bumps or anything. Cool. We'll just move her house back into the normal position. With the probe in the right place. Okay, cool, so there we go. So we can just start feeding her up again. Not that she's looking very thin, but yeah, that all went very well. Cool, so just to get these in the incubator, and then hopefully we'll be hatching some really pretty babies. Okay, so it's 69 days later and our Cape Cobra eggs have started hatching. So I've got a macro lens on, so I have to use a manual zoom, otherwise it makes a lot of noise with the motors, we won't hear anything. So just forgive me if it goes a bit blurry at times. Now, we did lose, I think, 2 eggs. It might have been that they got rolled over or something, or we've had a lot of power outages. Sometimes it will go for like a week or more. Every day the power's going off for 2 hours at a time, and even up to twice a day for about 2 hours. So they've experienced quite a lot of temperature changes, although the incubator works pretty well. With all the water bottles that I've got in it, it holds the temperature pretty good most times, and they are pretty hardy. So this is the first time breeding this Cape Cobra, so maybe some of the eggs are a little bit weak or something. Okay, so the eggs are extremely thin. And here you can see this little guy. Really, really cool. You can see the little point on the tip of his nose. It's where the little egg tooth, which he uses to get out. I wonder how close we can get with this lens. There we go. So we've got quite a lot of things hatching at the moment. Waiting on some other exciting projects which we'll be posting shortly. So yeah, this time of year is very exciting. Alright, so that's the one who's pipped. And we've got another one over here. Let's try and get the focus nice. There we go. Okay, see at the back there you can see the little remainder of the yolk. Whoops, going out of focus a bit. You see that yolk at the back there. All little veins and everything. That's going to be pretty much the last meal for this snake. So now that they're breathing oxygen and everything, they're going to absorb that yolk. And then they'll leave the egg. So we might get them out tomorrow or the next day, but we'll have a look at them. We're just waiting on the other two to pip so long. Very cool. We'll check on these guys a little more when they're out and about. Alright, so it's the next day and actually all the babies just popped out of the eggs. I was actually hoping to get some nice footage of little cobras hooding outside the egg. But when they're inside the egg, they're very calm and shy and the world is all new. Now that they're out and about, natural sort of instincts of being defensive and everything's kicked in. So we can actually see a bit of a color difference. Don't know if that's because maybe going blue, because after coming out the egg these guys will go into the blue and then shed, or if they're just different color variations. So all baby Cape Cobras will have the similar sort of coloring. They're sort of offish yellow. They might have these like little body markings, or they can be quite plain, but quite easy to see with on the throat when they hood up. They've got this little black band, well actually quite a wide black band across the neck. That's how you know. If you ever come across a little cobra like this, you see that little hood there. But here in the Western Cape, this is the only cobra you really have to worry about. Besides, you go towards Cedarburg, you get the black spitting cobra. So these little guys, the most venomous cobra in Africa, extremely potent neurotoxic venom. As babies, I mean, this shouldn't, especially being immediately out of the egg, a lot of the time the snakes don't really have much venom. They start producing it now. So I've had baby red spitting cobras and they try and spit and you can see they got the action right and everything and nothing comes out. And then 2-3 days later, then they've got venom. But that's not something we were going to test out, because one of these little guys could really upset your day. So we've just got them inside this other container in case they decide to come flying out of here. You can see obviously spreading a hood, trying to look larger, more intimidating, and a lot of the time you can see they're knocking into each other. They're not even opening their mouths. Okay, like with the Cape coral snakes, I'd stuck my hand in there and risk it a little bit. I'm not willing to do that with these guys. They've got a way more potent venom, and also I'm not too sure if they might actually open their mouths to give a little bite. See this one here, quite calm. You can see different personalities. Some people ask me, do snakes have personalities? Of course they do. Every living animal's got a personality. So this one, quite a lot calmer for now. Whereas you can see the siblings here all getting all huffy and puffy. Okay, so as they get older, around a year, they're going to start changing color, getting their adult coloring. But they change quite a lot. It's not just like poops change over to one color. They can actually change and then they continue to sort of change a little bit, and sometimes the spots and mottled markings come out more. So I've got from previous breeding, I had a nice pastel yellow, which you wouldn't know what color it would be, and then it went pastel yellow, and now it's starting to get black speckles on it. So it's really cool, interesting to see how they develop, so variable. So with this pairing, I mean, they're quite different speckled colored animals. It'll be interesting to see what we get out. Not quite sure, I'm thinking about keeping them all, but I think I'll keep at least one pair just to see what they end up looking like. I really wish I kept more of my yellow ones. because they ended up really stunning. Okay, so we're just going to take these little guys out and we'll house them, and they don't normally give too much issues with eating and things like that. They're quite easy. So pity we only got 4. 2 of the eggs that went bad. That's mom's first time breeding, so maybe next year we'll get a better clutch from them. It's still really cool to produce Cape Cobras. Little few more breeders getting it right nowadays, but in the past very few people having captive bred Cape Cobras. Very movement orientated, a lot of your cobras. See all that intimidation. Alright, cool, so we're not going to stress them out any longer. We're just going to get them housed and hopefully they do nice and well for us.